So, this is how you've tried to chastise me for not agreeing to fuck a cop on command, which was a downgrade from not fucking the disgusting, skeezy old lawyer that you gave me to as a bonus. You start with Cruz, Republican, individual recipient of election campaign financing. Then some sort of workup goes around, some sort of wraparound, some sort of, situation. The problem is Cruz used to be the Solicitor General of Texas. So a good way to really get that is to do something Texas. Something that might be connected to a charge against the state of Texas or a state officer in the state of Texas, and find a way to connect that to something that was already set up further back the pipeline, but that might be coming due now. So you start working some scenario connected to my report or something you steal from what I'm doing now in order to help connect a bid or connect a contract, connecting to something working currently, and you bounce it off of old accounts connected to Cruz when he was Solicitor General. And then concurrently, he may or may not get some real time benefit as an actual senator using something connected to my efforts to speak to him directly and in person in performance of his role as a senator. So after that happens, then he bounces it to Warner, Virginia, because the Democratic Party of Virginia, got the donation. He's the senator of my home state. You may or may not be able to send it to a bunch of people, but I'm never supposed to find out because he's on intel. So you can classify it as intelligence. You can just figure out a way to deny if necessary. So he gets to work it for a while, probably gets to circulate it to all his other boys, including the other senator from Texas, who used to be the attorney general, which is why he's always silent. I very, very, very rarely get connected to bio accounts of Warner. It's always via a lien on Cruz. Almost all the fucking time, unless it's China. And then he tries to do this little swap out with Rubio. But that's not really who China is, right? Warner is the China connection. So then after you circulated in Virginia for a while, all confidential like, I don't really know. I don't have the names dinging from Virginia. Now you got two options. Because last year you guys let that fucking shit happen where they stole my birth certificate. So I had to contact them directly. And the only person who responded was the other senator's staff person, right? And she sent me that letter saying, your home state of Texas, where she pinged me back to both of them at the same time. Like the choke point, right? So anytime I try to seek support outside of the nexus of perverts in this state that keep trying to harvest me and defile or whatever the fuck they think they're getting from Virginia minerals that have somehow been put into their public trust, then what happens? I get cut off every fucking time. And it doesn't matter which one of the jackasses I go to. They've already set it up. It's like a double thing. So you either get circulated through the auditing firm that was responsible for authoring the municipal pension plan from the city of Chicago right before my ass got fucking taken in and me signed up for whatever that fucking bullshit contract was, right? And now I'm supposed to be working at Texas style. So then after Virginia circulates it for a while, what happens? Republican Party of Harris County. And so then it may or may not go to Cruz directly, but it doesn't matter. It's probably one of his old boys that now has strategic litigation through the state of Texas to swap out opposition candidates that have been blacked out so that they can be harvested for a wider dispersal pattern. That's pretty much what you guys did. So the whole point is these guys never fucking actually perform their fucking job. They never attend to their committee duties. They never attend to their constituents. They refuse to respond. They just volley you around. Like, literally all they fucking do is play, racquetball? Tennis? The entire fucking time I've been here. And meanwhile, they don't fucking pass a bill about fucking federal workers' salaries. They don't fucking deal with any legitimate legislation around, I don't know, anything. Well, what do you want? Mineral rights claims in goddamn Wilderness Hole? They want to fucking have a holiday on Juneteenth while they got silver coins on Barbara and George Bush. So, meanwhile, Deloitte's got this little game they play with those three other auditing firms, right? Specifically Booz Allen Hamilton, where they got some sort of central counterparty strategy with Booz Allen Hamilton that was able to redistribute shit they acquired illicitly as part of their Pentagon audit. And part of the way they do that is even if you say no, they ping you with job notices where they're literally pulsing you to see how much of that job they can actually access and hack from you while you're being run around on the street. And so they end up laundering shit. Literally, that was supposed to be an inventory or analysis of what was going on with the DOD via the Pentagon. And then what? They give you a characterization. So ends up in whose largesse? Right? And then while you're working through the intel, they get to like put you on a goddamn fucking, little, what is it, St. Andrew's cross. And then wherever you fucking stop, well, somebody from the Democrats gets to pick you up. See, that's the thing. It's pretty precise. See, the way it happened, and it makes sense now, right? The way they fucking do the shit where Cruz gets to fuck me first, and then he throws me across the fucking aisle, and then Warner gets to, jack off on me a couple of times, and maybe a couple of the other boys and girls on the committee get to watch. And while I'm in the fucking home court, they put me in the fucking pool, and whoever draws on it, wherever they end up drawing on it, because it's all one big fucking party. And by the time I get back to Texas, what ends up happening? Well, cut the bitch off, sign her up for tomorrow. Next day, we're going to do the same shit all fucking over again. What the fuck? None of you Nazi-ass pieces of shit should ever have taken a goddamn fucking dime from goddamn fucking Deloitte. Especially if they got accounts working on your wife, asshole.